for sheet hair extensions. Sandy's just going to do her demos at the booth, correct?
Sure, man. Sandy Donafee.
I saved the best for last. I did. I saved the best for last. Sandy Donafee, who is an amazing, not only an amazing extensionist, she's also an amazing educator. Has the zero trace bond technique, which she's going to be showing. For you guys that do extensions, and especially if you do K-tip bond, the keratin bond extensions, this is going to blow your mind. I can't. Once again, it's another product that just blew me away when I saw this technique. And I'm just a young extensionist because, you're much better at it than I am. But when she showed this to me, and we all deal with extension clients, and when she showed this technique to me, and where you really can't see the bonds, even when you feather the hair, move through the hair a little bit, it is just amazing. And the color techniques that she's matching up with the extensions, this is a whole new level, and it'll take your extension clients to a whole new level. Have I missed anything with that?
No,
because we don't want to give it away either. They got to come.
I'm too excited. I'm too excited about the zero trace. I really am. The zero trace.
You got to come see Sandy, and you got to come see Sandy especially about the zero trace.
If you are an experienced person who does keratin hair extensions, if you have a clientele, like a full-blown clientele, or if you are starting to build a clientele, if you do photo shoots, if you do videos, if you do anything involving keratin bond hair extensions, you need to come spend some time with Sandy at the booth. You really, really do. It literally is invisible. That's that zero trace. You will be being able to attach these hair extensions without leaving a trace of keratin in the hair. And it is like you said, creatively speaking, being able to work with the client's natural hair color and being able to attach the hair extensions to that natural hair color, not have that hair color get covered up because the hair extension wrapped over it and wrapped around it, not being able to feel that little speed bump in the head, when you put in a row or when you bricklay it in, okay? To be able to have that free range movement go throughout the hair, that seamless movement go through the hair, but the extensions are in there, is such a freeing experience. The level of creativity that opens up with being able to do additional color melt styles with hair color, being able to do highlighted styles with hair color, being able to do new haircut and style techniques and effects, being able to create face framing, being able to create proper length, being able to put it higher up on somebody's head to create more volume and fullness that doesn't exist. The client doesn't have to look like a mullet anymore. You can actually give somebody a proper full head of extensions if that's what you're going for. I mean, it's just the zero trace bond technique is going to be the technique moving forward from now on, with the she hair extensions. That's how amazing, that's how much of an amazing method Sandy has created.
Now, when I saw the technique and as we've established, I've become an extensionist by osmosis from being around you and Bernard and Sandy. But when I watched you and Sandy talk about this technique, and there's something that stuck in my head big time, which was you're using what percentage less extensions are you using to cover more ground with this technique? Is that the right way to say it?
Okay, so potentially speaking, if I'm understanding you, I'm going to answer you two different ways if I'm understanding you. So from one hand, if I'm understanding you, you potentially don't need to use 150 to 200 bonds to do a full head of extension.
Right, exactly.
You could get away with doing it with 80 to 100 bonds. Will you still have room to put in 100, 150, 200 bonds? You could put in as many or as little as you want and be able to create a full effect. Okay. That's one way I'm understanding you. Another way that I'm understanding you is this. If your client now, because before it's like, well, did you use a full bond? Did you use a micro bond? Did you use a half bond? Like, well, how much of the bond did you or did you not use? Did the client texture have this, this kind of texture? Was it this kind of density? Were you allowed to do this? Were you allowed to do that? This alleviates that entire argument now. The zero trace bond can be used on any texture, any density, and it's safer.
Yeah.
It's completely safer for thin, fine hair, and it's completely durable for thick, coarse hair. And it matches with wavy curly just as well as it matches with straight and natural body. So the zero trace bond works for all types of hair. It's safer. There's this misnomer that tape and extensions is the safest one for all types of hair. It's a really weird misnomer, but people truly freaking believe this for some stupid reason. I don't know why. This zero trace bond blows away that misnomer hands down too.
That's fantastic.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Fight me on that one. I'll put that up against anybody.
That's awesome. So once again, come to the booth. Sandy's going to be at the booth. She's going to be doing demos all day long with the zero trace bond technique. She's an amazing educator. She's one of the nicest people I've ever met in this industry.